Welcome to Senior Savvy. I am not Jane Wells. I'm John Holland, the Public Education Specialist for the Oshkosh Fire Department.
But I am Jane Wells. Senior Savvy is brought to you by the Oshkosh Senior Center, where it's our mission to enrich the quality of life for adults ages 50 and older. Where are we, John?
We are in the Oshkosh Fire Department safe house. We're in the little hazard hunt room today, and what we're going to do is we are going to show you things around here that are not safe, that so many people do, that have caused so many fires.
Right.
And with seniors, being on Senior Savvy,
Right.
seniors are one of our highest risk groups for dying in a fire.
And why, I mean, when you think about that, I guess I could guess some of the issues, but why are some of the reasons for that?
Well, first of all, it is mobility
Right.
itself. I mean, you are slowing down as you get older. We all do. And skin is actually getting thinner. So a minor burn can turn into a very severe problem, just like a fall.
Sure.
Can
Yep.
turn into a bigger deal.
Right.
So as you get older, the risk goes much, much higher. In fact, once you are 65, you are twice as likely to die in a fire as the average population. 75, it is 3 times as likely. 85, it is 4 times as likely. So you probably should pay attention. We have a pretty important show today.
I think so. And of course, there are things that people can do and things that you just need to be, all of us need to be aware of within our own home to keep us the safest as possible. So you're going to teach us about some of those things today, aren't you, John?
I'm going to try.
All right.
Yep, and like you said, most of these are very preventable.
Right.
What we always say is the 3 major causes of fire are men, women, and children. And it's actually children, men, and then you women are so much safer.
That's right.
But many of our fires, most of our fires, are so easy to prevent.
Okay, so I'm a senior, I'm in my own home. Where's the first place do I start? What is like the easiest, one of the easiest things I can do to keep myself safe?
The easiest and the most important thing you can do is right up here.
Right up there.
Working smoke alarms. Okay, this one obviously has the battery removed from it, and that happens a lot. The bigger fires we go to, they usually have smoke alarms, but there's no battery, or the battery is dead. So, it doesn't do any good.
Well, if I'm a senior, let's be honest, getting up on a ladder and changing that battery is not easy for me to do. What do I do about that circumstance?
And again, you're very right there. We don't want you climbing up on a ladder if you are a
Probably
senior.
not.
So we have a program called Project Safe, and it's smoke alarms for everyone.
There we go.
And what we do is you give us a call, and we will come out and we will check your batteries. We will check to make sure you have enough smoke alarms. If you do not, for free, we will come in and we will put them in. We will change your batteries. Doesn't cost you a thing, except, like I always tell people, you have to put up with me, because I'm usually the guy who does it.
Wow. So you will come in, you'll check my batteries, you'll tell me if I have enough smoke alarms within my place, and you'll change the batteries if that's needed, and this is all free?
This is all
Wow.
free.
So if I wanted to take advantage of that, what number do I call?
You would call 236-5249.
Okay.
And that's me.
Okay, and just talk to you directly and get that set up with you.
Yep, and we just do it by appointment.
Could it be any easier?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And not any cheaper either.
Right, wow.
This is
That's
pretty easy
fabulous.
life insurance. Yes.
Yes. So any seniors who weren't aware of that, you can get free smoke alarms. You can have John come out to your place, help you change those batteries or assess the smoke alarm needs within your place. Everybody better do that, okay? What's that number again, John?
It is 236-5249.
Okay. So we're going to kind of go through the safe house as if it were our own home, and some of the things that you just probably need to start paying attention to within your own home.
Yep, and that's exactly right. And it's things that we kind of take for granted, that
Right.
we just don't think about. And and I get it. I mean, I have made mistakes, like 1 or 2 in my life. But, so we'll go around here, and
All right.
it is just packed full.
Yes, we are in your kitchen.
We are in our kitchen here, you bet. First thing here, the toaster. Actually, when you're not using it, it should be unplugged.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because you could bump this and turn it on.
Sure.
This one, obviously, placement is horrendous. It is right here by the curtain.
Right.
And it's, obviously it's very flammable. The toaster gets hot.
Right.
That's how the toast gift made, just so
Oh,
you
it
know.
is. Okay.
Okay. So that's a big one. All right.
Sure.
Then
And
over
even
here-
having just even paper or something else up against it, sometimes the sides get really hot.
You got it. We had a fire with the groceries, actually. Someone brought their groceries home
sure.
and stuck it right here and
Yep.
actually turned it on.
Okay, how many of us have melted the bread bag
And
because
y-
the bread
yes,
bag has
yes.
been up against
A lot
the
of
toaster?
toasters
I
are
think that's
decorated
happened
with
one.
this nice little
Yes.
pattern here. Yes, you're exactly right.
I did that.
You didn't know. All right. The next one, candles.
Love candles.
That
Love
a lot
candles.
of people do. The problem with candles is people don't blow them out.
Oh, you fall asleep with them on? What?
Exactly. I know, it's hard to believe. What they do is they will light the candle and then they will leave the room, or worse yet, leave the house. Like you
Sure.
said, fall
Yep.
asleep
Right.
and keep the candle going. We have a lot of candle fires, and they almost always say, yeah, the candle was lit, but it was only on for a little while, and the candle is now about 2 inches tall. So, and it's like, yeah, that's been going for a while. Sorry.
Right. And do you find like the gel candles are worse than the wax candles, or?
It doesn't really matter. I guess what we really would like is, first of all, don't just put a candle on a wooden shelf or whatever.
Sure.
Have it. And the glass ones are better. You still have to watch them.
Right.
But it's I don't know if there's really any safer candle except for the
Okay.
electric ones,
Right.
which are fantastic.
Yes.
They're battery operated ones. And another problem with this one is
Sure.
it is right here.
Yep.
Right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So, remember to blow your candles out if you're going to
Yep.
light them.
Yep.
Better option is actually those battery-powered ones, and
You got it.
they're
You got
really actually quite pretty.
They
too.
are,
and
and
they
they-
have
and-
timers on them, and then you don't have to turn them on every night.
Exactly, and they actually do have scent in them as well.
Sure. Oh, I
We
didn't
found
know
one
that.
that actually has, you can actually blow it out. There's a little switch in there. It's like, I didn't know that
Funny.
was the coolest part of candles, but it works. So
Yep.
we would much rather have you do that.
All right, so we have a problem over here we need to talk about. John's got a little habit he needs to break.
Yeah, exactly.
Not really.
Not really, no. The easy one here is the matches and lighters, and we'll get to the cigarettes in a little bit. But we do have quite a few child set fires in Oshkosh. And yes, it's the children's fault for playing with the matches and lighters. However, it is also the adults' fault for having them right there.
Right.
And I know why they are, because it's convenient. It's
Right.
convenient for them. And it's like,
Right.
well, that's great, but it's also convenient for the kids to reach
Right.
up and grab them.
Well, and even for grandparents, because you're not used to having sometimes those younger children in your home, you don't think, you don't think about that, and it's like, oh
Exactly.
shoot, you know what? Little Timmy's coming over. I better not leave my lighter laying out.
Exactly. That's an
Yeah.
extremely good point, because you're right. Grandparents,
Right.
I know even with me,
Right.
I'm AARP senior, but not quite. But anyway, when I have nieces and nephews and stuff come over, it's
Right.
like, ooh, never thought of it. I mean, matches
Right.
and lighters, I pretty much have that covered,
Yeah.
oddly enough. But,
Right. Imagine that.
but otherwise, there's all sorts
Yeah.
of things.
Yes.
The cigarettes. Cigarettes are the #1 cause of fire deaths still.
Really?
It is just nationwide and in Oshkosh. The big one is getting rid of the ashes safely and not overfilling an ashtray.
Right,
like
because
that.
there are things that are flammable within that ashtray, aren't there?
There are. Yes,
So-
there are. So you don't want to overfill it. And then what you do is when the ashtray is what you consider full, which is a lot less than that.
Sure.
Rinse out your ashes. Okay. Put them under the sink and turn the water on. Get them wet. Leave them overnight, and then dump them. What a lot of people do is they will go the ashtray is full, and then they will dump them into a plastic garbage can or
Sure.
paper garbage bag or whatever, and go.
Right.
I have no idea how that fire started.
yeah,
It's like, that's a puzzler.
Right. And of course, sleeping in bed is definitely sleeping in bed's not a hazard, but smoking in bed is a hazard.
It is, and it still happens, and I can't believe that. I mean, because when I was a kid, 5 or 10 years ago, the commercials were all over the place. Do
Right.
not sleep in bed. Do not, and it's
Right.
still going on. And with seniors, the big problem with that is medication.
Oh,
Because,
sure.
I mean,
Yep.
obviously you're going to bed because you're drowsy. You take medication. Most
Right.
of the medications, their side effect is drowsiness until you go to bed.
Sure.
With that. And even worse than that, a lot of them, and this is mind-boggling to me, take their medication with alcohol. So you're just begging for trouble, and you got the
Right.
blanket around you.
Right.
And this is going to sound kind of heartless, but you have kindling,
Yeah.
and it's going to fall right
Right.
on you, and
Right.
it doesn't have to happen.
So no smoking in bed. If you're going to smoke, smoke outside, maybe.
Yeah, smoke outside
But
is a
make
good
sure
one.
your ashes are watered or dampened down before you throw them into any type of trash can or on top of paper, certainly, or anything
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
And speaking of on top of paper, right
Right
down
there.
here, the garbage itself is a hazard. Obviously, with the cigarettes right on top of it, you bet that adds it.
Right.
But the garbage around the house is a huge problem. And granted, this is just a little snapshot here.
Right.
But what we're really worried about is hoarders.
Well, right. Or even if you're not, you have a pile of magazines that you know someday you are going to go through those, right?
Right, exactly.
And so that's sitting on the floor here, and then you got that mail or whatever you need to be going through over on the table over here.
yeah, and it doesn't
All
like,
highly
yeah.
combustible
You
stuff.
got it. You have more stuff to
Yeah.
burn. It is just
Yeah.
that simple.
Right.
Plus, it makes it harder to get out.
True.
You're even that one stack of
Yep.
magazines. You can trip over that.
Yep.
Makes it harder for you to get out. And here's something most people don't think about. It makes it harder for us to get in because that isn't
sure.
our way as
Sure.
well. So,
Yep. Yep. That makes sense.
and we're not going to expect the pile of magazines in the middle of the floor.
Right. 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 Because that's not generally where they're stored.
Exactly.
But. All right. So we have the grandbaby stove over here. So we're going to switch positions here.
Yep.
Now, what could possibly? Oh,
There.
jeez.
Thanks, Jane. That was
No
You are
problem.
good. we practiced.
So talk about this.
Okay.
Common sense stuff, and yet when you're in the middle of cooking and you don't always think about fire.
Exactly, because you do have fire. You are using
Right.
fire here. And fire's not a bad thing. We just have to respect it. And without fire, we'd have no cookies, no
Right,
pizza.
exactly.
So fire's a good thing. But on the stove, people kind of forget that they have a live fire going, whether
Right.
even on an electric
Sure.
range
Yep.
where it's just the hot coils or whatever.
Sure.
The big one, well, I shouldn't say the big one because I'm going to go to the one that you did already. The handle. When you are
Sure.
cooking, make sure the handles are turned in.
Right.
Okay, not out here. It's like we were talking about grandchildren before. This is child height.
Oh, sure.
Big time.
Exactly.
But anybody could do it. You
Or
hit
even,
this,
I could even see a dog jumping up and slapping
You
on
got
that.
it. You got it.
And not only from the risk of a fire, but even if this was just boiling water, the last thing you would want is to be scalded with
right.
that.
Yep, and we're not so
Certainly.
worried about a fire with that, but it is the scald.
Right.
And it's usually like hot grease or something. And
Oh, yes.
The pain, I can't imagine it.
Right.
And the scars there
So,
forever. So
Turn
you
that
got it.
handle in.
You got it. The oven mitt, fantastic for keeping your hands safe, and please do use them.
Yes.
Don't use the towels. Oh, I hate on the cooking shows. They always grab it like
Oh,
with the
right.
towel, and it's like, and then they got the rest of it draped right
Yep.
over here as they go
Yeah,
across the stove.
exactly.
These are great. However, you don't storm on top of the stove, and,
Right.
and we're kind of back to it's convenient. It's right there.
Right.
But
Right.
also it can scoot over, and this one's kind of an obvious one, but
Right.
even on
More on an electric
an electric
range.
one, yep, it sneaks under there,
Right.
and you have a fire, and it
Right.
does happen.
Okay, so I admit I have a couple of pot holders at home that have little burner marks on them from days gone by.
I do too from when,
Yeah.
when I was
One thing I know that I'm guilty of with my microwave up above, often I am setting stuff on the stove down below. And because
And then
because
you're
it's all
doing this.
flat, yes. Yeah. And because it's a flat top, it's
Yeah.
a surface. I can set
Yep.
stuff on it. And then all of a
Exactly.
sudden I look and the little red light's on and it's like, oh my goodness, that burner was on yet. So yeah, it is trying to be mindful and still having it convenient for use, but yet it can't be on top of your cooking surface.
Exactly.
There
And the
you go.
big one with the stove, and it's hard to see since there's really no fire here, this one is actually turned on. It is unattended
Oh.
cooking. People leave the house, leave the room. If there's something on the stove or in the broiler, you should stay in the kitchen.
Sure.
Just because you don't know what's going to happen. The oven, obviously, you still have to be careful, but it's
Right.
probably not going to burst in flames
Right.
in the oven. But on the top of the stove or in the broiler, it certainly can. So
Right.
you need to be there.
Right. And yet I think about, have I ever put on a pot of chili and left it on simmer for an hour
Exactly.
or two?
And I do get that because and
Right.
I know you're not going to be there for an hour when you
Right.
put this. So what you need to do is a couple things. The easiest thing is probably set a timer.
Yep.
And not for the hour that you're going to have it simmer.
Right.
For like 10, 15 minutes.
To go
and when
back
it
and
goes
just-
off, you go back and you check.
Sure.
Or take something from the kitchen with you. If you're going to leave the room and go watch TV or get on the computer or whatever, we all do it. We'll just get kind of get
you
lost
lose
in
track
there.
of
Yeah,
time,
lose track
you
of time.
bet.
And you look down and you go, why do I have the? Oh, that's
Sure.
right. There's something on the stove.
Sure.
So that can
Yep.
help as well.
Very good. And then the other thing I know as we age, that small writing actually gets harder and harder to see. So I might think that I have it turned off, but it could be on 10 because I'm not really sure what I'm seeing. So it's just, again, trying to, maybe if you mark it with, red fingernail polish or something so that you know that indicates that it's off, because it does get harder to see. It really does.
That's a really good idea. You kind of made up for knocking the pan off the stove.
Oh,
so
good. Yay! All right, I got to show you, John. I was at home and I got all excited because I found some things that, when I want to plug a lot of stuff in, here I have this great idea. So I can plug this into my wall. Then if I plug this into it, look at this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then I also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more on here. Look at the bang I can get out of an outlet.
That is so convenient. And then
Isn't it?
things like that actually put groceries on my table.
But this is safe, right? Because
This is
I'm
safe.
using a strip. That makes it all okay, right?
The strip is safe. These are horrendous, and I know a lot of people have these, and I get it, especially in this day and age when we have so many things that plug in.
Well, in an older house where you don't have as many outlets, I can
got it.
see where
You
mean,
got it. But what this basically is an extension cord.
Okay.
In your case, it's an extension plug. There's really not a whole cord on here.
Right.
But with all these things plugged into here, you're putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things into one outlet, and we don't want to even touch that one.
12 things. I could have 12 things
things
plugged
going.
into one outlet.
Ooh, what a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Right.
But if you just use this, if you were willing to cut it in half,
Okay.
you probably could.
Sure. Okay.
Then what I would do, these are great as opposed to
Lots of extension
lots
cords.
and lots of extension cords.
Sure.
With an extension cord, you should have one thing plugged into an extension cord, and
But it's got 3 prongs on it.
I get it all, and it's like, why do they do that? It's like because they can.
Okay.
A horrible answer, but
Okay.
it is.
Yep.
So you should just plug one thing into an extension cord.
Right.
When I put this together, I thought this was ridiculous. It's nothing based on things I've seen out
Right.
there.
Yep.
So anyway, but one thing in there, make sure the extension cord is actually, the cord itself is fatter than the cord that you are plugging into it. So you're not compressing that electricity
I
like
see.
pinching off a hose. And again, it's just
Okay.
going to get hotter and hotter.
Because the bigger the wire, the more current can flow through it. Oh,
You are good.
there we go.
All right, and if you don't believe me, which I wouldn't lie to you, well, you might wouldn't. Anyway, here's how you can check. Make sure everything is plugged in, and then just touch it where they all come together. Make sure it's plugged in first so you don't get zapped.
Okay.
If it is warm, and I mean warm,
Okay.
that is too much. And if
Okay.
it's hot, that's really too much.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yep.
one thing in. This just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. With this, with the power strip, there's a little switch. It's right here. And you can plug as many things as there are outlets in here. Not 12, Jane. And what happens if you have too many things plugged in, it just turns off.
Sure.
And everything will go off.
Okay.
So that's a really good sign that you have too many things plugged
Right,
in.
right.
So you unplug one, reset it, and try it again.
Sure.
Okay?
And this should be plugged directly into the wall, not into an extension cord.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You got it. And make sure when you get these, and they do have some that are about $5, and that's fine as long as they have either the little switch on it
Okay.
or a little switch. It'll either be on the end, and you have both because you're so good. There's a little
Because I
switch
have
here.
12 things plugged in.
Yeah, that's right.
Just kidding.
I'm just going to stop
Yeah.
there. But make sure it actually has the reset button.
Okay.
They do sell them that
With-
look like this,
Right.
and they're just an extension cord. If it doesn't have a switch somewhere,
Okay.
so make sure that it does. And they do have, like I said, they have some that cost like $5. They have
Right.
some that cost $150,
I know.
$200. Those are surge protectors. those are to protect your computer, your TV, if there's a direct lightning strike. You don't need that for fire safety.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. Awesome. So what's up with the drape and the lamp here, John?
You should see how nice it looks. It really adds.
Oh,
a little
I bet it makes
ambiance
it nice and blue.
It does. Again, we're back to the windows, the curtains on here. Actually, these lamps themselves, they're Corsair lamps. They have the halogen bulb, and they get really, really hot. I actually had one melt in my house when I first started for the fire department. And I was like, I smell something burning. And I was like, nah, you've been doing this too long. Probably like 2 weeks.
Yep.
And it had actually melted. But the curtain is a really bad idea. And most people don't actually put stuff right on it. Teenagers like to.
I was going to say, I
right
could see that happening in my home because it would look really cool.
Yep, exactly.
And you're right about these getting so hot. When my oldest was a little baby, we were at a friend's house and she went up and somehow she must have yanked the cord and the lamp fell on her hand and it burned. It was the worst burns I had ever seen. So even as, you talk about the seniors with the thinner skin and stuff, you go up to bump it or something, those really hurt.
They do. And speaking of hot, we have the space heaters
Oh,
here.
yes. Wish we had that on today because it's cold.
It's really cold and not humid in here at
really.
all. The space heater, granted, this is a really old one, but you never put it on anything that can burn.
Right.
And like the paper there, make sure it has an automatic shut-off. So if it does tip over, you're not going to get the heating coils right onto the carpeting or whatever. And the big thing with that is turn it off before you go to bed.
Right.
And I know you have it on to keep you warm overnight, but you're also you have it close because it's got to get close enough to get you warm.
Right.
So you have the blankets there that can really cause a problem. And I know a lot of seniors use them, and I know a lot of seniors use this.
Yes,
As
imagine
a
that.
heater.
Do not use your gas stove or oven or your electric stove or oven to supplement your heat.
Exactly, and it's not cheaper.
No.
You are really pumping a lot of stuff
Right.
through because it's trying to get to that one temperature, and
Right.
with that door open, it's not. It never will. So
Right.
you're pumping it. You're not saving money. You're actually wasting money. And so dangerous that just the door open itself.
Right.
Carbon monoxide
Yep.
is huge.
Well, and when you have the gas stove, it puts a lot of moisture in the air, and then you get mold issues on top of
Exactly.
safety issues. So
Exactly, and
No,
mold is a
no,
huge
no.
safety issue. Yeah, no. I like how you said that.
Exactly.
Exactly. Speaking of carbon monoxide, with our Project Safe, we have just started putting out or giving out free carbon monoxide detectors as well.
Okay.
So you're covered that way.
And you would give me ideas like what room to put that in? Because I'm not sure I would even know where to go with that. Where is carbon monoxide generated in my home or,
Yeah, and not only will we tell you where to put it, we'll put it there. We don't just like
Wonderful.
to hand them out and have them either in the wrong place or end up in a closet.
Right.
Or whatever. And that goes with the smoke alarms as well.
Right.
And your sources of carbon monoxide are going to be anything that burns something. An electric
Okay.
stove doesn't do it, but anything
Sure.
you have is gas. Gas stove, gas dryer, gas
Yep.
electric.
Water heater.
Gas water heater.
Sure.
That's where I was going with that. Thanks for saving me again. Anything like that. A wood stove, a fireplace.
Okay.
If you have them and use them, you always are getting a little bit of carbon monoxide.
Okay.
Things go wrong when you get too much.
Right.
And the only way you know you have too much is if you have a carbon monoxide detector.
Right, because, I think we've all heard stories where the family goes to bed and then nobody wakes up in the morning,
Exactly.
which is terrible. So if my carbon monoxide alarm goes off, do I call 911? What do I do then? Do I ignore it? Go push reset or something? Or
Well, after you're plugged and stuff,
Yes,
I don't
exactly.
know. You call 911. That is an
Okay.
emergency. You have
Okay.
poison gas in your house.
Okay.
You call 911 and you get out.
Okay.
And we will come in and check it out. Sometimes it could be a false alarm, but you don't ever assume that it is.
Right, right.
You get outside. It's not going to cost you anything.
I was just going to say, I'm on a budget, John. How much does it cost to have the fire department come to my house?
Yep. The only time we charge for anything for seniors would be the ambulance.
Right.
run. that obviously there's a charge for.
If they transport it, I mean, they can
Yep.
even just come and check you out.
Yep.
And if you check out fine, then there's no
Exactly.
fee at all.
Exactly.
So no fee for the fire department to come to your home. And a carbon monoxide is an emergency situation. You still would call 911. And of course, if your smoke alarm is going off, get out of the house and
out of the
then
house.
call.
Yes. Yes. Very, very good. You get out.
Yeah, what did I see some ad on social media? Something like, please make sure you leave the house before you Skype this or you put on social media the
Here's
photo of
something
your
I never
house
thought of.
burning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what don't.
Yeah.
My house is on fire.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm
Get out
leaving
first.
shortly.
Yes. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Well, John, thank you so much. This has been very, very informative and helpful. And do you mind giving that phone number one more time for people to call for free smoke alarms or an assessment of your home if you have enough and the carbon monoxide
Sure.
detectors?
It is 236-5249.
All right, and that will be the direct line to John Holland, who is the public education specialist for the Oshkosh Fire Department. And John, it has been a pleasure. Thank you
Right
so
back
much.
at you, as
Thank you
always.
so much, John.
You're very welcome.
I'd like to share with you some upcoming things that are going to be happening at the Oshkosh Senior Center. Please, women only, sorry gentlemen, but if you can join us on National Women's Health and Fitness Day, our Taking Care workshop will be on Wednesday, September 30th from 9:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. The cost is $10 per person, and we do ask that you register by September 23rd. This is a fabulous morning to just get away from it all. Women, come on down. We're going to have some relaxation techniques. We're going to have a great chance to socialize with other women, a little bit to learn about some financial things that we might have to address in our lives. We also have a free lunch courtesy of Lakeshore Manor. So please mark your calendars again for Wednesday, September 30th, 9:30 a.m. Come on down to the Senior Center, women. This is a morning for us, so please come and enjoy the day with us. And I know we talk about this all the time, but if you're sitting at home and you're not sure what to do with yourself and you need to get out a little bit, please come on down and consider volunteering at the Senior Center. We have a need for nail care assistants, people to call bingo, cooking. If that's your thing, we'd love to see you down at the Senior Center. Woodshop supervisor, and you can contact Jody LaPlante, our volunteer coordinator, at 232-5306. Couple other things that are upcoming in the month of October I'd love for you to get on your calendar. Saturday, October 3rd from 6 p.m. until 7:30. It's another coffee house music night. Donations are accepted and the group is Sound Doctrine Trio. We have flu clinics coming up in October 7th, October 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. And then on October 10th, we start the Senior Gems Workshop, which is a dementia workshop. Please come on down and join us and check us out. All right. Thank you for watching Senior Savvy. We'll talk soon.